Or Rachel Gutierrez. Ms. Gutierrez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you now.
On February 20th.
2 beers, 1 blunt, and heading the wrong way. That's not just impaired driving, that's GPS meets THC with a dash of bad idea. And when the officer smells weed before the car even stops, yeah, this case is already smoked.
2025, at approximately 3 o'clock in the morning, the officer observed a vehicle fail to signal lane changes twice and disregard traffic control devices, changing lanes over solid white lane markers, and then return to the lane it was already in. The temporary tag that the defendant had on her vehicle was expired as of January 17, 2025, and was voided. The officer continued to follow the vehicle, and the vehicle repeatedly failed to drive in a single lane despite another vehicle in front of it. The vehicle was also caught traveling 60 miles per hour in a 50 mile per hour zone. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant driver, and she was identified by Texas driver's license. The officer observed red, glassy eyes and the odor of alcohol emitting from the defendant's person. The officer also observed the odor of marijuana emitting from the vehicle. The defendant admitted to consuming 2 beers and admitted to smoking a blunt while driving until the officer pulled her over. The defendant stated she was headed north, and she stated she was headed home, but her home was in the opposite direction as she was traveling. SFSTs were conducted. 4 out of 6 clues observed on the HTN, 4 out of 8 clues observed on the walk-in turn, 2 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to provide a blood specimen.
Okay. Any prior DWIs?
No prior DWIs, and her driver's license is eligible.
Okay. Ms. Gutierrez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you, a condition of your bond, not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming either, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds.
Okay.
Do you understand? Ma'am, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'll have you fill out an application or sign a receipt. Victoria will release you for your bond conditions, and then we'll take a look at your application.
Okay.
Please. All right. You are Marcus Leonard.
Yes.
Mr. Leonard, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Just so you know, you're not here alone. Your lawyer is here with you, but on Zoom as opposed to being in person. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Okay.
On February 21st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers met with a complaining witness as a walk-up.
Wait, hold on a second. Do not talk. Okay.
Officers met with the complaining witness as a walk-up. Complaining witness stated that on February 19th, 2025, he and the defendant with his father stated that they were discussing who was stronger, and that they eventually felt disrespected by this. Complaining witness stated that the defendant then pushed him into a bathtub and then told the complaining witness to leave. And the complaining witness was grabbing clothes. The defendant pinned the complaining witness and struck him in the eye, causing an orbital fracture.
So it's son. So I see that he's a prior assault. Same complaining witness?
The one from 2008?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Have you spoken to the complaining witness in this case?
Yes.
What is his wish?
No contact.
Okay. Did you hear that, Mr. Evans?
Yes, I know Mr. Leonard very well, 20 years. I'm very familiar with the situation, so I understand completely.
All right, so Mr. Leonard, I'm going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. It appears that a protective order has been issued on the 22nd of this month. I would get to know it. If you do.
This wasn't just a heated family argument, an orbital fracture that's a broken face. Judges take domestic cases seriously, but when it's this violent, and from a father, expect the gloves to come off legally and emotionally.
Violation of protective order, it's one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do you understand? I am also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact or not to be in possession of weapons. If I find that you have contact with the complaining witness in this case, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Now, you've got a great lawyer because you have one. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but stay in touch with Mr. Evans. He'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. So do you mind filing no contact in the weapons, please? So for now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We will have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then after that, you'll be free to go. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, though.
Thank you, Judge.
Hold on, I need to get your date.
No, we already got it yesterday.
Oh, you
I
got it?
came out yesterday.
All right, have fun, man. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Judge, next is page 8. McKelvey,
Your guy,
he hasn't been brought up yet.
still no. You think we'll get him?
Maybe,
Are you, can you be here Monday? If we don't get him today, can you be here Monday?
Yes, and I think that's what we're anticipating on doing. I told the chief, told with the coroner, I think the plan will be to roll into Monday.
Okay.
And find out. This, you may recall, this is the issue, this had the competency questions. The gentleman who we did competency order, he'd been sent out of state to Louisiana. We did get that back. It had some issues and he was on a 90-day mental health PTI. So there are some questions and I need to see what state he's in, so. And I just have some concern now of.
Obviously, because it's number 4.
And if he's not going to be accepting DDRP, I mean, I think it's leaving us with very little options here. And I just can't be conscious.
So you want DDRP?
Well, I don't think he's accepting.
What do you think?
Well, we did a TRAS before in order to see about that. The
Did you?
TRAS, during the TRAS, they said, well, he's hearing voices, so we can't really continue the TRAS. And then their recommendation was we can't accept them in our DDRP because there's been a history of aggressiveness with the staff. And so we tried to go that route and just didn't find any available kind of resources. And so that's where we thought, well, maybe the best resource is a mental health PTI. And that's where things were at until, at least to my knowledge, until I got that email.
Okay,
Sure.
I guess we'll roll to Monday, we'll figure out.
Yes, I'll look at it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Mike. You are Ms. McKelvey.
Yes, sir.
Ms. McKelvey, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, man.
On February 21st, 2025, officers observed a black SUV traveling northbound on the Gulf Freeway at a high rate of speed at 98 miles per hour. The registration was expired as of February 2024. A traffic stop was conducted and the officer detected a strong stand. She consented to breath, which came back to a .139.135.
Can you prior DWIs? You are an NCRC, please.
Yes, Your Honor. There's no prior DWIs. There are a couple of theft convictions.
And license, please.
Her license now.
Ms. McKelvey, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any illegal substances like marijuana, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you do not have a valid Texas driver license and a liability insurance, then you're not allowed to drive as well. That is also a bond condition of yours.
Clocking 98 in a 50 while blowing a 139, that's a DUI, with turbo mode. You don't just get a fine for that, you get a bond condition that bans you from even thinking. About alcohol, one wrong sip, and it's straight to jail.
Okay. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
I'm gonna hire one.
Okay. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You will get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go now.
Okay. Good
Are
morning.
you signing? This is Mr. Mendoza?
Yes, Judge. And we should have a attorney appearance on file.
Let's see. You are Mr. Mendoza. Sir, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. On the gun case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On February 23rd, 2025, officer observed the defendant failed to stop at his designated stopping point in Harris County, Texas. The defendant was driving and stopped after the white stop line at the intersection when the traffic light was red. The defendant almost crashed into another vehicle before stopping, so a traffic stop was initiated. While the defendant was stopping, he ran into a chain link barrier that was blocking a private property. The defendant, the driver, was identified by his Texas driver's license and stated that he was coming from his sister's residence. The officer observed the defendant to have bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The officer asked the defendant to exit the vehicle, and the officer observed him to be unsteady on his feet. The HGN was a 6 out of 6. The defendant was then detained. He advised that he had a handgun under the middle console. The SFSTs were conducted at the intoxication room, which was a 5 out of 8 on the walk and turn and a 2 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read and consented to prep, which came back to a .150 and a .145.
Okay, any prior to be licensed, does he have a license?
In your honor. And his driver's license is eligible.
Okay. Mr. Mendoza, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, your bond will be revoked. You will go into custody. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Now you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with them, and they'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and then you're free to go.
It's one thing to drive drunk. It's another to drive drunk with a loaded gun. Mendoza's 15 back and that handgun under the console. That's the kind of combo judges don't forgive it, screams danger, not second chance.
No weapons?
Yeah, I guess so. Right.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be
Thanks,
excused?
guys. Yes, ma'am. Morning, Mr. Rios. Smart. So you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
No more PR bonds. That's courtroom code for you've used up your free passes. Whether it's assault, intoxication, or weapons, the judge is drawing the line. Break this bond, and you'll be bonding with a jail cell instead.
Yes, Your Honor. On February 20th, 2025, officers were dispatched regarding a DWI at the 14,700 block of Wallacefield Drive in Harris County, Texas.